Hey, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over how to fix one of these latch locks for your windows. I'm going to be replacing it, so if you want to check that out, let's get started. So I got one of these broken latches. As you can see, the top is completely cracked, so the cam lock won't stay engaged, and these windows drift open, let air from outside in. So I'm going to be replacing it. So the first thing I did was go ahead and measure it. So I measured mine. It's about 2.5 inches across and about just under 1.5 inches deep. I couldn't find any of these locks local, but I found some on Amazon. I'll show you those. So knowing my dimensions, I just looked on Amazon. It actually seems to be a standard size, and these are metal, same material. So I bought an 8-pack. These will run you about $2 to $3 a latch. Depending on the quantity you buy. The more you buy, the cheaper. But they come with screws and everything. I'll leave a link to the product I used today. So this is what I picked up. But the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and get a Phillips screwdriver and get these 4 screws out. I couldn't get my driver into these back screws because they're so close to the glass. So I'm just using a regular screwdriver to get these back ones. And once you get the old latch off, it's probably a good time to go ahead and clean the area up. So I'll get some soapy water and clean this real quick. And I ran into a problem, so I was test fitting my pieces. And all the holes line up perfectly with the existing holes, which is good. If your holes didn't line up side to side, I was just going to fill these with caulk and drill new holes. The old latch actually used, for this front piece, used self-tapping screws. But the problem I'm running into is, I don't know if you can see this, my back part, although it lines up side to side, it is too thick this way, and it gets caught on this front window. So I'm going to have to measure this distance here, try to find a latch that's thinner on this back piece. So, full disclosure, when you're measuring this, make sure you measure this back gap first. I did not do that, so I bought these. So I'm going to return these on Amazon, take some measurements of this back piece, and order some new ones, and then we'll finish this video. Alright, so fast forward a couple days, and I picked up a new one. I got a single pack, so it cost me a little bit more. It was like $6 for a single, but it has a thinner back piece. So, the original one I bought was measuring 0.37 for the thickness or the depth of the back piece, and this one's advertised as 9/32, which is 0.28, so 0.1 thinner to go up here, and it actually does fit. So this looks like the size I'll need, so it actually goes all the way in the back and clears the front window sash. So especially for a double hung window, make sure your lip on your upper sash, measure that distance. That's your most critical measurement. Now the size, the width and the depth of this front one is probably less important. It's pretty similar for most windows, but there are varying depths for this back piece, so make sure you measure first and order the right ones. Additionally, this back piece is slotted, so my existing holes line up. So it came with 2 tapered head screws and 2 like round head. The tapered head go on this smaller back piece. The other ones I bought originally were all tapered screws, just keep that in mind. Or, I have the old screws if I want to reuse those too. But first thing I'm going to do is screw in this back piece. I'm not going to tighten the screws all the way though. So we'll get these 2 screws in and snug but not fully tightened. Now I'm going to take my front piece with it unlocked. This version has these little things that come out to help you line up with your locking tab. It's kind of nice. So I'm going to just kind of lock it in place, line it up, and check my holes. So again, what's funny is my left hole lines up perfect, but my right one doesn't. So I think this is 2 1/4 instead of 2 1/2, which my old one was. So I'm just gonna have to pre-drill one more hole. It says to use a 3/32 bit and then put my screw in. So let me go find a drill bit. All right, I just got a drill bit here that's slightly smaller than the screw diameter. So let's go ahead and get that drilled. Actually, I think what I'll do before I drill is, since that other hole does line up, to try to keep this from moving once it's locked, I'll put this other screw in first. You might have to mark with a marker and drill 2 new holes though. Since I'm doing one, I'm not going to mark it with a marker. I'm just going to drill it with this installed. So I'm going to tighten the screw most of the way, lock it once it's good, make sure that everything's lined up, and then I'm going to pre-drill that hole. Right in the center. So I pulled the latch back off so you see the old holes. It looks like there were some even older marks from the past, but here was the old hole and there's the new one I drilled next to it. I'm going to go ahead and get the screw started in my new hole. Just get it thread started, pull it back out, and then do the final install of both screws. Alright, I got the front screws tight, and then made sure my lock is lined up with the back because my back ones are not tight yet, so I have some room to adjust it. So as I'm locking it, it actually slid itself over to where it naturally wanted to be. So now it's locked, and I will tighten down these back 2 screws. So now got all the screws tightened. It wasn't perfectly aligned in this one where it wanted to be for locking. But when I lock, both sashes of the double hung window are solid. And I can unlock it. This one will slide down. Slides up, and then lock it back. So it looks like we're good. So yeah, that'll do it for this little video. You know, how to install or replace one of these. I've never done it before, so I hope some of these tips and tricks were helpful for you. So I'll leave links to both products I ended up using. The original ones that didn't fit in my specific windows, and then the new one. I bought just the one because I wanted to make sure it fit, because all my windows are this size, and then I can buy more in bulk to replace other broken ones. But that's it for this one. All right, bye.